I was a double today. Can y'all tell? 10:40 to about 9:20. And on my break, I went to the gym. I thought about coming home and taking a nap. I was tired, but I was like, man, we are already on a movement streak. Plus, deep down inside of me, I'm the type of person who doesn't use their free time to escape the life they have, but rather uses their free time to build the life they want, you know? That's why I'm always moving, because I've actually fell in love with the process of building the life I want. I've made it easy for me. Sure, I was a double today. Yeah, I'm beat, I'm tired. I didn't feel like doing this video standing up, but that doesn't mean it was a bad day. Just because you had a hard day doesn't mean it was a bad one. I stacked up a bunch of wins today. Made over $200 at work. And then when I went in for the night shift, I ended up training. Now, was I ecstatic to train? No. But I know why they asked me to train, because I had been there the longest out of any of the other servers there, so it kind of made sense that one of the trainees was going to get handed to me. But, I made it a fun time. Because when I have a trainee, I'm like, cool. They get to do 90% of the physical work. Theoretically. Realistically, when it gets busy, Dillon has to drive. Or else, well, guest experience will drop. When you're training somebody and it's their first day and they're supposed to do 90% of the physical work. I've been a server for 4 years, man. I'm like a freaking samurai with the ice scoop. And then when you're watching somebody on their first day, they it's completely new to them. It's like watching somebody learn how to walk. Like, they don't know where the ice scoop is. They don't have like a rhythm down. But you just have to be patient. I have to stand behind them, knowing that I can do it in a fraction of the time they can. And I have to watch them figure it out. Now, when it gets busy, I have to be like, all right, to get us through this, I'm going to drive the bus real quick, okay? Watch and learn. And I walk fast, okay? I was turning corners, and I'd turn around, and my trainee was gone. I was like, shit. And then she'd pop around the corner, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I walk fast, but we're a little busy right now, all right? We got to go. I'm giving them the rundown as quick as possible. Like, all right, we got to go to table 58. They're about ready to pay. And then we got to go to table 57. I think they're ready to order. And then table 56, their food's been taking a long time, so we're going to go address that real quick. That way there's no cause for concern. And then table 45, even though they paid out, they want something to take home their queso. So in order to do this efficiently, we're going to consolidate. So we're going to grab this little container. We're going to grab this guest check. We're going to make sure you got your pen so we can take that order, and we're going to make sure we got a smile on our face when we go apologize for how long their food is taking. It gets a little fast pace. It gets hard to keep up, Actually, I messed up today, and I taught my trainee how to address it. Dillon accidentally forgot to ring in a table's order. It's called pocketing a ticket. Now, thankfully for me, this ticket that I pocketed was only 3 menu items, all of which don't take too long to make. However, I did pocket this order for a good 8 minutes, which doesn't sound like a long time, but when the kitchen's already busy and you've already been holding their order for 8 minutes, and then it already probably took another minute or so to ring it in. Not the most optimal scenario. However, I was like, I looked at my trainee. I was like, all right, I fucked up. But don't worry. I'm a professional. Here's how we're going to address this. We're going to ring in this food right now, and we're going to fire it in. And then we're going to walk over to Expo, and we're going to tell them that we fucked up. After we do that, we're going to go over to our table, and we're just going to apologize for the long ticket time and ask them if they need anything. So we walk over to Expo, tell them, hey, I need that fire. I fucked up. Thank you. And I walked away. And then I go to my table 58 and I'm like, watch and learn, okay? I walk up to the table and I say, hey guys, I just want to come over and apologize for the long ticket time. The kitchen is a little busy at the moment. Other than that, are you guys still doing okay? Can I get y'all anything? And they were like, no, we're good. Maybe some more chips and salsa, but no, we're good. Thank you. See, most servers, when they pocket an order, they have a meltdown. They get a manager, they're like, please go to, they jump to conclusions very quickly. However, I went over to my table and they were chilling. And once I got them chips and salsa, I was like, your first plate will be out in just a moment, sir. I'll be right back. Sure enough, since I fired the food, his cold plate was up as soon as I went back there. My server senses were going off. I'm standing on an Expo, and I told my trainee, I was like, watch. He's about to put it up there. And he had to go get a scoop of guac, so I kind of misjudged it a little bit. So I opened my eyes, I'm like, I swear it works. And then when I said that, it came up, and I was like, see? I just spawned it in real quick, and then we're gonna go give it to him. And then, since I have now put some actions behind what I've just told them, they are a little more comfortable. Their food could take an hour now, and they're like, Dillon's got it. Because I do. But other than that, another thing that's nice when I'm training is I get this. They feed me. So I got me it's called a pollo con queso. Basically, it's a chicken breast with queso on top. And then I get a salad for rice and beans. And I just dump the salad on top of the chicken. Somebody said that it's a chopped meal. Like, they're like, well, Dylan, what are you doing? But I think it's amazing. Especially because it's so much volume. If you don't know this, lettuce is like a freaking cheat code for volumizing food and for a calorie deficit or for losing body fat in general. Because you can, like a pound of lettuce is like 15 calories. Or, no, like 40 calories. But it's mostly just water and fiber. Like, it's literally just a filler. Now, don't go too crazy on lettuce because, like, kind of like with, like, zero carb tortillas and, like, zero carb anything, the fiber will make you a little bloated. Now, it's not as bad as, like, the processed low carb tortillas, but it is a thing. So just be careful. But just because your day is long and hard doesn't mean it's a miserable one. I may be tired, but I'm not miserable. Because no matter what, you're going to get through it eventually. No matter how bad it sucks. Because, like, I didn't have a choice. I couldn't tell my manager, oh, no, I don't feel like training today. No, I'm just going to go home. No. Can't do that. So, you gotta make the most of it. Remember, look for the red cars. I said this in one of my first videos. Do you guys know the red car analogy? If you take a 50-mile drive on the highway, you might see a few red cars. But if I tell you to watch for red cars on your 50-mile drive, shoot, you might see 100 or 200 of them. Life's the same way. Those positive things, those good things, they're the red cars. If you start looking for them, all of a sudden more show up. Just something to think about. I'll be back.